Hi, we're Ellie and David, and we're overlanding across Europe and Central Asia in our Land Rover Defender Yak. In this episode, we're back in Kazakhstan and heading west. Stay tuned for some incredible scenery as we explore the otherworldly expanse of Ustyurt Plateau and try and get ourselves and Yak back across the Caspian Sea in one piece. This video was a bit delayed because I'd started working on a mini documentary about the Aral Sea, but sadly our hard drive completely destroyed itself and we hadn't backed up those videos elsewhere, so we lost loads of footage of this section of the trip. We're obviously pretty gutted about it, but we've learnt a lesson for next time though, and we'll be backing up everything from now on. Ustyurt Plateau. 77,000 square miles of scorched clay desert spanning parts of Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. With extreme seasonal temperatures from the mid-40s to minus 40 degrees, the plateau is relatively inhospitable, but home to a surprising range of wildlife and a handful of semi-nomadic people who keep sheep, goats and camels. Surrounded by vast salt flats and towering white pillars, it's easy to feel like you're on another planet. While we were admiring the view, a Korean TV crew rolled in, and it turned out they were filming a documentary on Kazakhstan. They asked if we wanted to be part of it, so we followed them along rough tracks down onto the plateau, where we spent the most bizarre but amazing night, camped out with them, cooking for each other and swapping stories from our travels. That night we experienced Ustyurt's famously strong winds that whipped across the plateau and blasted us and Yak with sand all night, so we quickly had to get the tent down and sleep inside between all our bags. That morning we headed back towards the city of Aktau and spent about a week figuring out a way to get ourselves and Yak back across the Caspian Sea to Azerbaijan. For some reason the rules had changed and we weren't allowed to take the ship with Yak as we'd done last time. So we eventually were put in touch with a guy who organised for us to ship Yak across, while David and I would fly separately from Aktau airport to Baku.
I've just arrived at the port and I've gone into the office that Igor told me to go into. Igor's the guy who's kind of sorted this all out for us. I showed my passport and he's given me this document which I think lets us go into the port to load the Land Rover, and then obviously I'll come back out. But so I think I'm going to go in now, pay all the port taxes, put the Land Rover on the ferry, and then I think we're done. I don't know if there's anything else to it, but we'll see. I've done all of the customs declaration stuff now. It took about 2 hours to process. People just didn't seem to be working. I was sent to a customs desk and they said just wait there, and someone didn't turn up for about an hour. So I've done everything, taken my passport and the Land Rover's V5 and all the documents to a load of different desks and got a load of different stamps. So I'm now waiting for the border stamp, and that's the last stamp I need before I drive onto the ferry. So I think all it is just a brief check of the Land Rover. And then hopefully be on the ferry, and then I've got to figure out how to get back to Aktau. I should be on time for the flight with Ellie because it's only 10 o'clock at the moment. So I've got plenty of time to figure out how to get back. I'll either try and hitchhike or get a taxi. So it's been fairly smooth, just a bit slow. Be in Azerbaijan tomorrow hopefully. I'm now through everything. I've got all my stamps, just need to drive Yak on and then leave. It's going to feel very, very weird. But yeah, I'm sure everything will be fine. Give it to him. Yeah.
How was to get me in?
Peace. Huh? This is where we say goodbye to yak for a couple of days. Feel absolutely sick, but you know, it'll be good. Absolutely heinous. Horrible leaving yak behind and giving the keys over to someone else. I know it'll be fine. Jens and Akka's Land Cruiser was fine. They said nothing was stolen, so I know we can trust them. It's just a little bit weird. So waiting for a taxi now. A guy's just ordered one for me. Feeling quite at peace about it all though, which is really nice. I was quite anxious about everything yesterday. There was a lot to sort out, but we've managed to get through pretty much everything. Now all we need to do is get to the airport. We've got our tickets, we've got our visas, and then obviously we'll figure out picking yak up when we get into Baku. Yeah, so it's obviously a very unique part of the trip. We've not flown at all on the trip. It's just something that's had to be done, yeah, I guess just another story for the trip. So yeah, we'll see how the next couple of days goes. I've made it back to Ellie. She's editing away. I'm so tired. We didn't get much sleep last night because I had to get up early to get to the port, but I fell asleep in the taxi on the way back, and like my head was lolling a bit, and then I fully just fell asleep and headbutted the dash. So embarrassing. I'm so tired.
What David hasn't mentioned is the real reason we got no sleep is because somebody lost their bank card. Which happens a lot. So we ended up going back to the boardwalk and walking about 2 kilometres along there looking for it, and then we went to a car park where we'd been for a while in the day, routed through like 3 bins, and then remembered we had it when we went to KFC for dinner, so I'm so glad we checked in there. It was the last place we went and they had it, so glad we got it back. So it's our last few hours in Kazakhstan. Feeling a bit emotional actually. We're about to get a taxi to the airport now.
Yeah, our flight's not until 3 in the morning, but we just thought we'd get there a little bit early, maybe try and catch up on some sleep from earlier, because tomorrow we're not going to get much sleep because yeah, we land at 3 as well because of the time difference, and we're not sure when we'll pick yak up. So yeah, it'd be good to get some sleep before we fly.
It was quite an emotional moment as we took off and saw the lights of Aktau disappearing behind us, and thought about all the incredible experiences we'd had in Central Asia. We thought back to all the uncertainty we'd faced when we were in Georgia and just felt so grateful that we'd managed to make it over in the end. This flight did feel like quite a big leap in our journey back towards the UK, but of course the trip wasn't over yet.
We tried to get the metro from the centre of Baku, and then we were going to get 2 buses to get to the port, but we obviously looked very lost while we were trying to work out where to go, and about 20 people were trying to help us. They were all so friendly, and one guy approached us and he ended up paying for our metro ticket. We tried to insist, but he wasn't having it. He was going the same way, so he showed us where to go and helped us sort out a taxi, so we're in that now on the way to the port.
So we'll be at the ferry port in about 15 minutes. I think the ferry that has yak on has docked, so we should be fairly quick getting it. I don't know what the process will be coming back into Azerbaijan, and I think if we come through quick enough, we'll then head straight to the Georgian border and maybe cross into Georgia tonight. But yeah, we'll see. So excited to have yak back. Not really enjoyed not having it. I'm back with yak. It's actually been parked here for about 2 hours. I left Ellie back at the kind of entrance a couple of hours ago. I didn't actually realise Jack was here, I've only just seen him, but I don't have the keys. They've still got to bring the keys with all of my V5s and stuff, so just waiting for the people to come and then do all the custom stuff and hopefully be on our way. But everything looks in order, everything looks not broken, nothing stolen, so yeah, nice to be back. It's now 6:30. Ellie's been on her own for a while now, didn't actually have much water either, we didn't know it would take this long. Not sure when I'm going to get my keys back, but whilst I've been waiting, I've done all the declarations, all the custom stuff, so once I get the keys I should just be able to leave. Whilst they've had the Land Rover, I don't really know how it's happened, our battery health has dropped a lot. I mean, overnight, well, over 30 hours, it's dropped to very low, and usually kind of it's just sitting up there after you've driven it for a bit. We've got 2 batteries, so I don't know what's happened there. Jens and Akka said that theirs was flat when they picked it up and they had trouble starting it. So at the moment, ours is fine because I've just tried starting it, but I don't really know what they've been doing with it. Got my keys, so we're ready to go. We might make it to the Georgian border in time if we're too tired, because obviously we've not slept for the last couple of days. If we're too tired, we'll stop some on the road and then cross tomorrow. But yeah, excited to be back, kind of just doing life on the road. Obviously we were in Aktau for a long time. So yeah, just looking forward to getting back into the trip again. I thought I was done, but they then sent me back to get all of our stuff scanned, and I was there for ages, and we had real issues with the drone this time. Last time they saw it and were a little bit wary, but they just put a tape around it, whereas this time they were chatting about it for about 40 minutes. They had loads of different people coming in and checking, but it's all fine. And then I had to go and sort out more stuff at customs, but we're through. It's taken about 5 hours, which is frustrating. We thought it would be quite quick, but that was obviously quite naive. On our way to the border now. I don't think it's about 5 hours normal car time, so you have to take about 6. So we're not going to cross the border today, but we'll camp somewhere near it and then cross tomorrow.
While we were transiting to the border, these guys flagged us down and invited us to their house for a party with their friends and family to celebrate their new baby who had been born that morning. Sadly, we couldn't stay for very long though due to our transit permit, but once again we were blown away by the hospitality.
We're in Georgia!
Really easy.
Woo! I think that was one of the easiest crossings ever.
Yeah, I was kind of anticipating maybe Azerbaijan being a little bit trickier, but we were through it fairly quickly. It was a fairly normal length.
They didn't even search us going into Georgia as well.
No, yeah. So yeah, wow, we're free.
It feels so weird to be back here.
Yeah, we spent so long here coming back and forth when we were trying to get to Azerbaijan, and
kind of feels like coming home.
Yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, really excited to just be like travelling again, because while we were coming from Uzbekistan to Aktau, it was obviously such heavy driving and really hot, and we didn't really enjoy it. And now we're kind of able to live on the road again and see different places on the way back home. So yeah, really excited.
Insurance all done?
Yeah. Minimum 15 days, which is a bit annoying, but it's only £8. So gonna go and get some food now from Carrefour and Rustavi, which we know very well. Yeah, really excited to be back in Georgia now.
Of course, we had to celebrate the crossings with Georgian wine, and it had been a while since we'd had access to this much fresh fruit and veg, so please excuse the level of excitement.
After a very long border crossing, we're now back in Turkey.